Hello, hello, hello. Welcome and welcome back. My name is Zaria Ray Lee. If you didn't know, today is day 18 of the Reset My Life 30-day journaling challenge, okay? And today we are here to really to start bringing it all in, start really encompassing the full journey as you answer these next prompts, okay? The next few days are going to feel like either really super small, tiny steps that you're not sure how they're gonna work, or it may feel like a lot of tedious tasks that like, why am I even answering this? Because you're going on a journey to reset your life. We're resetting the mindset these first 30 days, but now is the next 30 days is for you to actually hone in and start resetting your life. Okay? So I don't know if y'all are ready for today's prompt because we're starting to get serious, and it's time to start evaluating your priorities and what you're choosing to change about your life and why. Okay? But before we even get into the daily prompt, we'll go ahead and do our daily statements as always. And we're going to start with our good energy here. So I am grateful to gravitate towards, I don't know where you come from, but you need to go towards, I'm grateful to gravitate towards um, reflective, introspective, and understanding individuals. Okay, we'd love to see that. Now, next, let's see. I am proud of the work I do, how I choose to embody self, and the ways I am present in the relationships in my life. Okay, yes, I like those. I'm definitely going to read all three of these after, but let me do my last one, my affirmation. I am a beautiful, benevolent, influent spirit that fills my soul with light and love. Okay? Now, let me read all three of my daily statements as we jump into day 18 of the Reset My Life 30-day journaling challenge. My appreciation today. Actually, I'm going to read them in order as they came to me. My gratitude today. I am grateful to gravitate towards reflective, introspective, and understanding individuals. My appreciation. I am proud of the work I do, how I choose to embody self, and the ways I am present in my relationships in my life. My affirmation. I am a beautiful, benevolent spirit that fills my soul with light and love. These are very pretty. These are pretty today. I really like them. So, as we jump into our daily prompt, I'm about to share it on the screen with you all to go ahead and read and dive into. But one more sentence before I do. What do you want them to be? What do you want them to be? Not even what are they? What do you want them to be? So just think about that as we move into today's daily prompt. I basically gave you your analysis version 1 because it's very important today. Your analysis version 1 can really help you gain the appropriate trajectory for the life that you're choosing to reset into. So I'll read today's prompt and then I'll give you that question one more time. Okay? I want you guys to have a moment to read it silently to yourselves. So okay. So today's prompt for day 18 of the Reset My Life 30-day journaling challenge is: based on your vision of your new life, list the top 10 aspects of your life in order. How do your new priorities change your answers to prompts from day 8 and day 9? Okay, so take your moment to write it down. And I will ask you again, what do you want them to be? Don't even say, oh, that's not even possible. I don't even know if I could really do that. What do you want them to be? Just what do you want them to be? The top 10 aspects of your life that you're going to prioritize for the next 30 days and probably the next 90 days, okay? What do you want them to be? And just really hone in. Get comfortable with the thoughts that you send yourself. And as you start to think of your answer, definitely write down how you're feeling while you were reading the prompt, while you were writing it down. But as you think about your priorities, I want you to also think about the things that you just don't even want to think about anymore. You just don't even want to, that's not a part of the life experience you want to even have thinking about. Like, you just don't want it there. I want you to still think about these things because you may end up realizing, okay, these are the top 10 priorities for the month or the quarter or the year or just my week right now. But really just hone in on the top 10 priorities so that you can then establish, does this need to be for a time period of 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, or 365 days, or maybe even just half a year, 6 months? So start thinking about the time frame it would take for you to fully embody these priorities. Okay, and I know this one was a longer one, but I do hope you've had time to write it down. If you're watching in the future, you can always pause it, babe. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the journaling analysis process. Oop, it doesn't want to move, so I guess I'm going to give y'all a few more seconds. 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1. Okay, there we go. With your journaling prompt today, you can, and I would highly implore you to use the journaling analysis process workbook. Free workbook ready for you to download in the description box below. Click the link. You can have this workbook for yourself, okay? There's a whole table of contents to give you sort of an introduction into everything. It comes with 7 journaling prompts. It comes with the instructions, all the how-tos on each individual analysis process, and even journaling pages for you to do those 7 journaling prompts or just any journaling prompt that you choose. Now, with this journaling analysis process workbook, I will say that it does work best as a journey. So definitely try to complete it as, a 7-day workbook, a 28-day workbook. I would complete it over the course of some time and give yourself some time and a little bit of momentum inside that thinking habit of actually going that deep into conversation with yourself. So take your time with this one, just like you do the 30-day journaling challenge, and you can use it whenever you need. It's there for you to have all the information you need. And you can literally learn how the basics of shadow work and understand how to actually get those answers from yourself and heal your inner child through this free journaling analysis process workbook. So I don't know why you haven't downloaded it yet. Okay, now analysis one, I definitely gave you guys a two different questions to help gain clarity. The first was, what do you want them to be? Okay. And the second question was, what timetable do I need to give myself in order for these to become my top 10 priorities if it's kind of unfeasible for me to start with it in the next month? So that may look like, okay, if you know that you want to start a side hustle. I know that a lot of everybody's trying to start side hustles. So let's say you want to start a side hustle, but you know all of your time and energy is focused on a lot of different things. You've got 3 different jobs and a part-time job. I don't know how you're doing it, but all of your time is taken up right now. And that means that you'd have to plan for the future for you to be able to replace one of those with that side hustle. And that takes time. So it's okay to realize that what you want isn't exactly feasible tomorrow, but we're going to go ahead and create a plan so that it's an inevitable we're going to go ahead and create a plan so that it's an inevitable happening for you to be in your top 10 priorities, for you to be in that version of self that you know you want to be in. Okay. Now, as we jump into answering the prompt a bit, because I'm going to go ahead and share sort of the journey that I go through when giving my, oh no. Okay, so I have a process for how I go ahead and get into my 30-day journaling, or how I use my 30-day journaling series to give myself the top 10 priorities that I'd like to focus on. I'm looking for my notebook because I put it in the notebook that I apparently didn't bring in here with me. And I really take notes so I don't have to keep all of this juice in my head, but it's important to keep it in my head. So we're going to stretch this memory for me. So be a little patient, and I'll also just make sure that I have the notebook I wrote it in with me tomorrow as well. And I may even revisit a little bit of today's prompt, like maybe do 2 different lives so you guys can still have the energy and the juice needed and necessary. But the way that you're going to realize the top 10 priorities that you want is definitely by looking at your answers to day eight's prompt. That's why we kind of mention it. Because, yeah, day eight's prompt is pretty solid in the changes that you want to see, the positive changes you want to see and want to embody. That's pretty much gonna stay the same unless you've unraveled a full deep foundational value that you didn't realize you had and didn't want to have anymore, which can, you may have already done that. It doesn't take long to start exercising this muscle of healing for it to start you reacting rapidly to your circumstances. Okay. But some of these positive changes may change based on the top 10 priorities that you list. That's why I say take into account the timeline that these top 10 priorities are going to need in order to be fully realized. Um, don't set yourself up for failure when you know that you need more time for something than you've actually tried to allot, because that is a self-sabotage behavior. Okay, telling yourself I'm only going to give myself half the amount of time I need to accomplish the task is literally asking yourself to fail. And you may still get it done, you may still do the thing, it just won't be to up to par for you, and you're going to be like, oh, I knew I shouldn't have done it. But no, that wasn't the case. If you gave yourself more time, more energy, more space, more focus on that thing, then you can do it. You can have it. You just have to map it out You have to map it out sometimes. You can't just decide this is what I'm going to do. You have to map it out sometimes. Just like I was talking about my sugar. I think I talked about it yesterday and on days, what was that, 14 and 15. But I realized that the goal that I have for quitting sugar is a year-long goal because the place physically that I'm in is somewhere that I will need to leave in order to be able to accomplish that goal. And that's not something that's going to happen overnight. If it could, I would have already, okay? So adjusting my quarterly goal of, okay, let me make sure I'm only consuming intentional and heavily monitored amounts of sugar, and they're all inside products that I make myself at home, or I know that this product doesn't have any other excess um, agents and preservatives inside of it, whatever you want to call them. So that I had to adjust my quarterly goal to make sure I could meet my yearly goal. Because when I first brought it up, I was like, no, I'm gonna just cold turkey quit, which would be fine if I was in a physical environment that doesn't even bring it into the house. I don't buy it, I don't bring it into the house. That's not something I do. But I live in a house where it exists, and sugar is an addictive substance that my body craves. So it's gonna end up in my mouth if I'm around it. That's how that works. That's how that works. So I realized, you know what? I can't just say I'm going to quit right now. I have to have a plan that actually says, no, this is the end date I'm going to quit by. And that end date is attached to other actions that I'd like to complete by the end of the year as well. So making sure that all of my goals are kind of attached to the same intention and purpose helps me realize what top 10 priorities, excuse me, it helps me realize what top 10 priorities I actually have for myself. Okay. So actually, let me go ahead and write that one down for real quick, just to make sure that I can call back to it in the future if necessary. Um, but realizing the time commitment is something that is just kind of necessary to take into account to make sure you don't set yourself up for failure, because you don't have to fail. You will achieve when you believe. You when you believe you can do it, you'll do it. And that's really what it is. If you're saying I don't know if I can, then you don't know if you can. You probably won't be able to. But if you start saying nah, I know I can, then you'll realize, okay, what, or you may even ask yourself, what do I need to have with me in my environment? What do I need to do to be able to accomplish this task? And these leading questions, analysis version 1, you can use that at any moment in your life. You can literally decide, oh, you know what? I need to ask some more questions about this circumstance to gain more clarity on what I actually need for myself right now. It's okay to treat yourself like a therapist sometimes. You don't treat your friends like a therapist. Don't treat people who aren't therapists like therapists. But it's okay to see and acknowledge and be inquisitive about yourself. That's how you learn who you are and gain a relationship with who you are. That's how you actually start to process what you're thinking instead of being on overload and confusion mode all the time. But that's just how I've done it and my experience with it. And when it comes to analysis version 3 here today, I'm not even going to pull it up right now because I want you guys to really see and focus. When it comes to analysis version 3 with day 18's prompt, definitely go into your answer with day 9 and how it would change based on your new top 10 priorities. With day 9, you were figuring out, okay, what habits do I need to release? So when you're analyzing the emotions that pop up, when you ask yourself what habits you need to release, you can see where you're leaning into certain coping mechanisms that aren't helpful for you. And It'll help you be able to recognize when you're falling into patterns that don't help you. Because you're not just recognizing the thought process, you're recognizing the whole cycle of what happens. You feel this, you think this, you react this way, you do this, and then it makes you feel this, and then you're thinking this, and you do this, and you react this way, and then you feel this, and you think this, and you do this, and you react, and you feel, and do, and think, and react, and it just continues. It's a cycle unless you break it. It is a cycle until you break it. And you can. You just have to decide to break it. And it may feel like, oh, I keep slipping back into it. You keep continuing to decide to break it. You keep deciding to change. So obviously, something is changing, something is happening. You're not just stuck. You're not stuck anymore. You have the knowledge and skills to discern when you're stuck. And now you have the knowledge and skills to help you get out of that stuckness. And now it's up to you to decide, I'm taking my power to get myself out of this stuckness, and I am choosing to live a different life. That's just it. I am choosing to do things differently. I am choosing to think differently. That's it. And it may be like, well, what you mean that's it? That's it. You just continuously make that same decision over and over and over again. It may feel a bit redundant until you realize you literally look up and you're like, oh, I'm living a completely different life because I chose to do that new thing over and over and over again instead of that old thing over and over and over again. But that is just my piece. That is just my piece. Now, I will say that analysis version 4 is really one of the main um, parts of helping you identify those limiting thoughts. So if you're still like, I don't even understand how to identify the thoughts, do some more analysis version 4s and analysis version 3s. If you're like, I don't even know what I'm having trouble with, I just know I'm having trouble, do some more analysis 1, just with the things that happen in your life in general. If you feel like, I don't know why I keep getting stuck in these um, overworked, underpaid jobs, do analysis version 1 on yourself with that. And then analysis version 2, ask yourself, why? And then do analysis version 3, you start to see that inner child. You start to recognize where those foundational thoughts and patterns and perceptions come from. And then analysis version 4 is what equips you to combat that and help your inner self grow into the person that you actually want to be. So, the journaling analysis process workbook, which is free for you to download in the description box, it's there for you. It's there for you to be able to have these tools for yourself whenever you need it. Analysis 1, 2, 3, and 4. All back to back, right there in the workbook. Right there. So take advantage of it. Take advantage of the resources and opportunities that show up in front of you. Take advantage of them so that you can live the life that you choose for yourself. Okay? Now, with that being said, today feels like it was a shorter one, which technically it kind of was, but I think I just went through our prompts pretty fast and the information pretty as necessary as it needed to be done. I do feel like going over my daily statements again because they just felt so powerful for me today. So, my daily gratitude for day 18, I am grateful to gravitate towards reflective, introspective, and understanding individuals. My daily appreciation for day 18, I am proud of the work I do, how I choose to embody self, and the ways I am present in the relationships in my life. And then finally, my affirmation for today, I am a beautiful, benevolent spirit that fills my soul with light and love. And I only came up with these affirmations because they speak to who I am right now, who I'm choosing to become, and the space that needs to be filled in between. I created those targeted affirmations for me and my experience based off of completing analysis versions 1, 2, 3, and 4, specifically 1 and 4, just in my everyday living and life as I have conversations with people, as I journal, as I'm thinking while I'm maybe cooking or I'm out running errands. Like, I use these processes every day to make sure that I'm not overloading myself with pressures, anxiety, worry, and all of the things that come from listening to outside factors, societal views that influence how you think and how you move. It seems simple, and it kind of is, but it is hard. And it does take time. This is not something I learned overnight or just decided to do one day and now my life had changed the next. No, I have been intentionally making sure that I combat these thoughts with my own inner knowings for years now. I've been doing it with other people when I was teaching and I was doing music with children. I was helping them do this as well. I was like, okay, I don't care what you're hearing at home. You just need to know that you are still loved and everything that you need is here for you. Okay? You are still, you have everything that you need to be able to improve yourself and your life. Even if what you need is some help from the people around you, it's still here around you. You just have to look for the opportunities and the safe spaces and the proactive spaces. You just have to open your eyes to it and believe in it. You have to believe in it. I don't care how corny it is. When you believe, you do achieve. When you believe, you do achieve. One more time. When you believe, you do achieve. And that's just it. And now I'm going to actually, that's my new phrase. My old phrase for helping me get out of my worry and anxiety was aligned actions transform anxiety into excitement, contentment, and peace. That was the last sort of phrase that I needed in my difficult times. But I've moved into a different part of my transformation journey. And I know that what I need is a little more audacity and confidence. I need a little more audacity and confidence, not just the peace to be able to go for the audacity and confidence. That was the first thing I had to get. Being able to have stillness and peace and calm in my own mind, in my own body. That's that first phrase helped me do. This new phrase is here to help me be audacious and do the damn thing. Okay? So, my new phrase, and this is what I'm leaving you all with, come up with a phrase that you can cling to at any moment in time where you feel all of the things that just make it so hard for you to move or even think. Have a phrase that you can use that brings you back down to reality and that helps you hone in on you and focus on the support and upliftment that you can give yourself. My new phrase: when I believe, I do achieve. Not if, when. When I believe, I do achieve. I believe, so I do achieve. I believe, I achieve. I believe, I achieve. I believe I achieve. That's my new statement now. I believe I achieve, and I will be saying it until I need a new statement and I've moved into a new phase of my life. I will be writing down different targeted affirmations for myself on a daily basis, probably for the rest of my life. I found that it's a practice that just works for me. It works for me, it helps me. It doesn't matter if it only takes 5 minutes every single day for me to give myself a daily appreciation, a daily affirmation, and a daily gratitude. That's all it takes. 5 minutes every single day for me to actually give myself the support and the energy I need to continue moving forward and to focus on my goals, my energy, my choices. Now, with that being said, I hope you all gained something from today's live stream. If you haven't been here before, days 1 through 17 are available. Definitely click the playlist because the prompts are made to be done in a specific order so that you can gain the most out of this journey as possible. And I just want to say that if you feel like you've learned something, or you feel like you related to something that happened in this live stream today, if you feel like the resources that were shared were really impactful, please share them with someone else that you know who may also be on this journey of transformation, of just figuring out what's going on in their brain, in their life, and trying to connect the two. Share the knowledge, because why not? Why gatekeep something that could really help everybody? But that's just my piece. That's just my piece. So, with that, you all have my piece for the day, and I am going to continue having my own piece for the rest of my day today.